everyone, in this video we will cover the current affairs. Before we move ahead, let me inform you that these questions are part of our daily 20 MCQ series in GK Today's Academy Android application. So if you are looking for the text version of these questions and their explanations along with the interactive quiz, you may consider joining our daily 20 MCQ series in Academy Android application. So in this app course you get daily 20 MCQs, a fortnightly quiz, a monthly revision document and also category wise revision ebooks which are optimized for reading on your mobile itself. Apart from it, you are also able to access all archives of questions from January 2020 onwards. Please check our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. For hard copy books, you can visit our website gktbooks.com. Okay. So now without wasting any further time, let's get started.
Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 30th of November 2021. Starting with very first question. Definitely leading the way, which won the ABU UNESCO Peace Media Awards 2021 is a program of which media company? Here ABU stands for Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union. So this UNESCO Peace Media Awards 2021 has been given to Doordarshan's Definitely Leading the Way under the category of Living Well with Super Diversity. Okay, and apart from Doordarshan, All India Radio's program called Living on the Edge, The Coastal Lives won the award in the category of Ethical, Sustainable Relationship with Nature. Okay, and this award ceremony was held at Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Okay, now apart from it, every year 16th of November is celebrated as National Press Day. Why? In memory of the foundation of Press Council of India in the year 1966. Now also we have seen that the leading national daily, The Hindu, has recently been awarded the Project Siren Award for Newspapers 2021. And the award has been given for consistent high performance on Project Siren's scorecards. Okay. So the Project Siren was initiated by IMHO, which tracks the Center for Mental Health Law and Policy, which tracks and scores media reports on suicide. Okay. Now apart from all these things, India's first virtual science lab for children under the CSIR Jigyasa program was launched recently by the Union Minister of State for Science and Technology, Mr. Jitendra Singh. So CSIR has partnered with IIT Bombay to develop a virtual lab platform under the CSIR Jigyasa program, which enables basically the classroom learning with the laboratory research for school students, and the target audience for the virtual lab is students of classes 6 to 12. You have to tell me, what does CSIR stands for? Question number 2. Who is the chief of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Personal Data Protection Bill 2019? So the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Personal Data Protection Bill 2019 has defended the controversial exemption clause that allows the government to keep any of its agencies outside the purview of the law. And the committee headed by Mr. P.P. Chaudhary has retained the clause with minor changes. And the report will now be presented in the Parliament. Okay. Now talking about some of the important recent appointments, Goft Alardis has recently been appointed as permanent CEO of ICC. Then MC Maricom has been appointed as brand ambassador of TriFed Adi Mahotsav. Also, Saurav Ganguly has recently been appointed as chairman of ICC Men's Cricket Committee. Then VVS Lakshman will take charge as next head of National Cricket Academy. Apart from it, Professor Bimal Patel of India has recently been elected to International Law Commission. Then Rahul Dravid has been chosen for brand ambassador of kids footwear brand named as Plato. Then our new Rajya Sabha Secretary General is PC Modi. And now you have to tell me why SN Pradhan was in news. To which position he has been recently appointed to. Please write in the comments. Now question number 3. Which country has signed key deal in nuclear submarine alliance with the USA and the UK? So Australia has recently signed an agreement with the USA and UK allowing the exchange of sensitive naval nuclear propulsion information between their nations. So this three-way deals between Australia, USA and UK gives Australia USA nuclear powered submarine technology, and this is the very first agreement on the technology that has been publicly signed since the three countries announced the formation of a defense alliance, AUKUS. Okay. Now apart from it, India and the US are set to revive the Trade Policy Forum after 4 years in an attempt to promote trade and investment flows between the two nations. So the India-US Trade Policy Forum was established in the year 2005 and last it met in October 2017. So it was subsequently replaced by negotiations between the two sides on a trade deal, and US Trade Representative Catherine Tai was on a 2-day visit to India. Okay. Now in the previous lecture we have seen that USA has recently declared the term SQUA as a derogatory term, and hence all the names of popular valleys, lakes, creeks and other sites on federal land which use this word would be replaced. Then UK is set to host a summit of foreign and development ministers meeting from G7 in the city of Liverpool in the month of December, as currently UK is holding the G7 presidency. Okay. Now you have to tell me two things. First of all, the BRICS presidency is with which country? And secondly, which country is the president for G20 meetings for this year? Please write in the comments. Question number 4. The recent East Asia Summit on Maritime Security Cooperation was held in which city? So the 5th edition of East Asia Summit on Maritime Security Cooperation was recently begun in Kolkata, and it has been organized by India in partnership with Australia. So the other organizers include ASEAN India Center at Research and Information System for the Developing Countries, then National Maritime Foundation of Australia, and the Research Center for East and Northeast Regional Studies that lies in Kolkata. Okay. Now apart from it, stock exchanges, Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange announced the launch of celebrations of World Investor Week 2021 between 21st and 28th of November 2021. So the International Organization of Securities Commission is an association of organizations that regulate the world securities and future market, and the headquarters lies in Madrid, Spain. And this World Investor Week is a week-long global celebration promoted by this organization to raise awareness about the importance of investor education and its protection. Okay, so headquarters is quite important. Now apart from it, recently the CAG of India, that is Controller and Auditor General of India, announced that it will start accounting of natural resources such as mines. So CAG will also help the state governments so that real-time audit of local bodies becomes possible, and quantum of natural resources available in mines and expenditure incurred for its extraction, and if the mines are profitable or not, will be audited by CAG now. Okay. Now also we have seen that recently Nagpur has played host to the first ever National Inter-Religious Conference that was organized by Lokmat Media Group, and you have to tell me what was the theme for this event. Please try to participate in the comment section as much as you can. Okay, so it will benefit you as well as others. Question number 5. Which state assembly passed a bill to repeal the act intended to establish 3 capitals for the state? So the Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly has passed a bill to repeal the controversial Andhra Pradesh Decentralization and Inclusive Development of All Regions Act of 2020 that was intended to establish 3 capitals for the state, and Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy told the assembly that the government would bring a comprehensive decentralization bill. Without seeing here, can you tell me which are the 3 capitals that we are talking about here? Now recently Andhra Pradesh has topped the Smart Police Index of 2021 and it was further followed by Telangana at 2nd position and Assam at 3rd place. Okay. Now few days back we have talked about the Swechha program, which is to be launched in Andhra Pradesh, and the aim is to promote the health and hygiene of women and adolescent girls. So under it, the state government will provide sanitary napkins at government educational institutions free of cost. Then CLAP is another initiative of Andhra Pradesh government that was launched by Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy on Gandhi Jayanti. So it aims to make the state clean with public participation, and under this more than 4,000 garbage collecting vehicles will be deployed across 13 districts in the state. Also, state government will distribute 3 color coded dustbins, that is red, green and blue, to all the 40 lakh household, and people ought to use them for waste disposal after segregating the waste. Then State Cabinet of Andhra Pradesh has approved the transfer of 15 acres of government land in favor of the Tribal Welfare Department for construction of Eklavya model residential schools in the Visakhapatnam district. Question number 6. As per air quality report by IQ Air for the year 2020, which country had the highest number of polluted cities in top 100 polluted cities of the world? So as per a recent air quality report by IQ Air, India has the most number of cities in top 100 polluted cities across the globe, and India has 46 out of the world's 100 most polluted cities, and it was followed by China with total of 42 cities and Pakistan with 6 cities. So Hotan in the Chinese Xinjiang province had the worst air quality in 2020, and among the top 10 most polluted cities of the world, 9 are located in India. Okay. Now apart from it, India's very first All India survey on domestic workers has commenced and is being conducted by the Labour Bureau, and the survey is aimed to calculate the proportion of domestic workers at the national level and in the states, then number of labourers engaged in informal sector and number of migrant labourers, etc. So the survey is expected to be completed in total of 1 year. So you might be asked that which organization has commenced India's first All India survey on domestic workers. So this is the Labour Bureau. Now apart from it, recently United Nations Environment Programme has released the 2021 Production Gap Report, and as per this report, government plans to produce more than double the amount of fossil fuels in the year 2030 than the consistent level to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Then India has been ranked at 40th place among 43 pension systems across the world in the 2021 Mercer CFS Global Pension Index survey. Now you have to tell me which is the 101st country to join the International Solar Alliance. Please write in the comments. This is very important question and already I have told you many a times. Question number 7. Which India-based bank has listed its $650 million green bonds on India International Exchange and Luxembourg Stock Exchange? So this is SBI, and this dual listing is in line with the theme of this year's World Investor Week, that is Sustainable Finance. And India International Exchange, which is the international arm of Bombay Stock Exchange, had earlier announced its memorandum of understanding with the Luxembourg Stock Exchange for green finance in the local market, among others. Now apart from it, according to SBI research report EcoRap, India's GDP growth is likely to be in the range of 9.3 to 9.6% during the financial year 2022 from its earlier estimate of 8.5 to 9%, and also it forecasted around 8.1% growth in the second quarter of the current fiscal year. Then few days back we have seen that SBI has recently launched the first video live certificate service for the pensioners, and this new facility will allow the pensioners to submit their life certificates through videos from their homes. And as per the SBI, this facility is available for only the pensioners, and spouse of the pensioner who is receiving a pension will not be able to use this facility, and process of video live certificate is totally paperless, and also it is available free of cost. Question number 8. Who is the author of the book titled as Pandemonium, The Great Indian Banking Tragedy? So senior journalist Tamal Bandyopadhyay has won the Tata Literature Live Award for his book Pandemonium, The Great Indian Banking Tragedy. So Pandemonium was selected under the Business Book of the Year category, and he had earlier received an award of Kalinga Literary Festival for the same book, which is said to be an insider story of the India's banking system. Now talking about some of the important books, a book named as Stars in My Sky has been authored by Divya Dutta, and Union Minister Smriti Irani has recently authored her first novel named as Lal Salam. Then Cooking to Save Your Life has been written by Abhijit Banerjee, and Maruf Raza has authored a book named as Contested Lands, India, China and Boundary Dispute. Then The Custodian of Trust is a book authored by former SBI chairperson Mr. Rajneesh Kumar, and also Rajneesh Kumar has been appointed as the chairman of Bharat Pay, and you have to tell me for which state he has been appointed as the economic advisor as well. Please write in the comments. Question number 9. Which state has clinched its third victory in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy? So Tamil Nadu became the most successful team in the history of Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy as they clinched their third title in New Delhi, and they defeated their rivals Karnataka in a thrilling finals, and Tamil Nadu team played under the captaincy of Vijay Shankar, and he would remain the captain in the upcoming Vijay Hazare Trophy. Now talking about Tamil Nadu, recently it has constituted a FinTech governing council under the chairmanship of our Industries Minister Thangam Thinarasu, and Vice Chairman would be Irai Anbu, who is the state's Chief Secretary. And state is set to launch this FinTech policy at the Investment Conclave, and Tamil Nadu government has already started the implementation of a FinTech city in Chennai at a cost of nearly 165 crore rupees. Now coming to last question, which racing driver won the inaugural Qatar Grand Prix in 2021? So this is 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton, and he has defeated Red Bull's Max Verstappen. So this was his 7th win out of 20 races for this season, and the record extending 102nd title of his career. Now few days back we have seen that the president of Chile, Sebastián Piñera, has recently been impeached by the lower house of the country's Congress. Then Daniel Ortega has recently won the 4th consecutive presidential term in elections held in Nicaragua, and Czech Republic has gained a new government after a 2-party coalition signed a power sharing deal. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from past 2 3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, Minu Zatsana signing off.